I remember driving up to the Holy City, and you took me through the markets, and that blew my mind. And then we walked the path of Christ. And remember, we got the official to open the gate, and he took us right to where Jesus was.
Wow.
Remember that? I think we paid him money. I think we
probably
I
did.
think we bribed him to get in there. If I remember,
It sounds like us,
mate. There's always going to be bribes. We went to the bomb shelter, was doing our meetings there and everything else. And you said, "Oh, brother, I'm scared because there's not so many meetings here."
Yeah, I remember that. You told me I should start a few.
Yeah, I said, "Will you start some more meetings, brother?"
I solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, hi everybody. Ron here from The Truth About Addiction. Today's guest is a personal friend of mine coming out of Israel, out of Tel Aviv. You in Tel Aviv still?
Yes, my man.
Yeah, and
I moved an hour up north, but Tel Aviv is always my house.
Yeah, I was with this young chappie when he first got into recovery. He stayed in recovery. We became friends. I went to Israel to visit him. He was a gentleman, looked after me. We did meetings in bomb shelters before the bloody war started. And that was, 6 years ago. So, Ori, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and welcome to The Truth About Addiction, my friend.
Thank you, Ronnie. It's a privilege for me being here. Being in a position to say something or give something back for me it shows a lot. And thank you for the opportunity.
I'm humbled to be able to ask you to come. Ori, what was your story, my brother?
I started using, like many people, probably at the age of 13 or 14, started with hash and weed and drank. And I loved it. I loved it from the first time. The first time I drank was at the beach, not far away from my house. I passed out. My friends found a wheelchair between a couple of houses. They sat me on it and they pushed me back home. And it was for me like the first time I was free.
Yeah.
It might not sound fun to say it, but I was honestly quite a sad kid. From the outside, I was like friendly and outgoing, and I loved being the funny guy in the class, and I loved giving trouble, and I loved doing a mess. But I was kind of lost, and that's my honest truth. I was lost. I felt uncomfortable at home. I felt uncomfortable outside my house. I lived a double life. Since the day I can remember myself. On one hand, I had like this beautiful life. I used to go to the scouts. I used to have friends. I used to have girlfriends. And on the other side, I sat by myself and used. I always looked down at people that used alone. I always thought in the beginning, oh, it's like the thing you do with company. And it didn't take a long time for me to realize the people around me were disturbing me. I don't want to share my drugs. I don't want to share my time. I don't want to speak with anyone. I just want to use. So that's what I did. Slowly, my life became smaller. The things around me were disturbing me, quote unquote. Why go to school? Why see people? Why spend time with family? Why do anything if I could use this time using? I thought about it early today. When I learned to drive, I did it under the influence. I learned to drive when I was high. So for me, it was like second nature. I remember the guy mentoring me explained to me that people should use before and after everything. I used to use, forgive me, before I went to the bathroom, after I went to the bathroom, before I ate, after I ate. It was like taking a breath. For me, it was a time out from life. And I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I have a problem when people say I hated drugs. I say, you hated drugs and it took you that long to work it out? Are you stupid?
No, I loved it. I remember I went to rehab and I realized at that point, I was a few years after when I've already burned my life to the ground for God knows what number. And for me, was like separating from a friend. I was mourning for a while.
Yep.
Because the only tool and the only help and the only love I had in life boiled down to that, if you can even call it love. But that was the only thing that carried me through the day. I ended up every line I put in the sand, every drug I said I wouldn't use. I always thought, oh, if I find a better good-looking girlfriend, once I go to the army, I'll stop. Once I find a better job, I'll stop. Once I reach the magic number at the age of 20, I would. It's almost pathetic, thinking that if nothing changes, if I keep trying by myself, if I keep doing the exact same thing, that one day it will just solve itself out. And surprising, it didn't. Nothing happened until I did something different.
Yeah. And from my knowledge of your story, which I know, did you get clean in Israel before you came to Australia?
I spent a few months in rehab here, and I ran out. I went to one meeting when I was 22. My father took me to a meeting in a bomb shelter in Tel Aviv.
Mm-hmm.
A few months afterwards, I got, call it politely, thrown out of school or kind of left. But the first time I actually went into recovery and went into being clean was in Australia.
And, you talked about your dad, I've met your father.
True.
And I know him from a different perspective than what you know, of course. And to me, I just find him to be a very soft, beautiful man.
He is. He's a beautiful man.
Extremely intelligent. But he's also very, strong. Extreme. Like when I first met him, we're having dinner, and he's so soft. And then when he gets passionate about something, it's like a switch. It's a bit like me. I can be so lovely, and then the switch goes, and it's like, here it goes. As Bondi used to say, the eye starts twitching, and then you can't guarantee what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. He's changed over the years.
Yeah.
Maybe I've changed over the years. When I was younger,
exactly,
I experienced it differently. But it was sad for me to realize after I got clean how much I hurt him. How desperate he was to watch me from the side killing myself and not being able to do anything. Despite all the love and all his wanting to save me from myself, he was completely powerless. He had to get the front row seats to watching his son like committing suicide slowly. And my relationship with him the last 8 years, we say in Hebrew is tikkun. It's a mending experience. He's my friend, he's my mentor, he's my father, he's my net of security today. And it's a privilege for me to have him alive and share these years with him.
Yeah. Nice. Well said, my friend. And that is this program. Love. Recovery is not about not taking drugs. Recovery is about finding love, self-love, the ability to be loved, to express love, to accept love. That was the hard one.
Yeah.
If a girl said she loved me, it would be like, what the hell what are you talking
What's
about?
Wrong with you?
Yeah. And because you know me as well as you know me, it's like, I'll tell you when I'm in love. It's just so fucking shallow. As I was saying to V today, like, you got to remember, I watch all you guys grow up. I've watched you grow up from 8 years ago to the man you are today. I watched you meet a woman, fall in love, get married, have a child, Bondi, introduced him to his wife. Like the list goes on of all these people that I introduced them to. Brocky, I've had him since he was 17. He's now 30. Wow, 37 or something. 37, yeah. Unless the gift.
The ripple effect is amazing.
Yeah.
The ripple effect of touching another person's life. And I see with some of the people you've mentioned, they brought in the brother, the family. Like they help other people. The circle grows and grows exponentially. You do one good act of service, one good act of reaching out, and we can just do our part. You don't know what happens afterwards, but like you're saying, a few years afterwards, you start seeing like the sparks of people around you.
Then they spark somebody else, and then somebody else sparks somebody. And you know, we talked about you watched your father watched you front seats die. Now he's watched the resurrection. He's watched the regrowth. He's watched his little boy, selfish little boy, become a beautiful man, a father, a son, a husband.
Yeah.
And all he ever wanted was what he's got today.
Yeah. And that's a gift. Those are some of the things that are not in my control. I could control once I got the opportunity to get clean and people introduced me to this program. I could choose to seize the opportunity and go for it as strongly as I could. But some of the circumstances of life we don't choose. I'm happy the people around me are here to watch me change. I'm happy I can, instead of being a burden, be a source of comfort, be a source of security, be a source of love, like you said, to my surrounding. I remember I wrote in one of the steps, I don't remember which one, maybe in my fourth step, that's what I want to be. I want to be able to be there for the people around me. And I remember the first time my sister turned to me, asked for help. I almost didn't believe it. Like, she was scared of me for so many years, and I've never hurt her unpurposely, but she knew coming up to me was like, you didn't know what side you would get. She walked up to me. I used to be explosive. I used to be angry. I used to be just not good, not healthy. So the first time she came to me and she saw my response, I saw her like almost surprised. She came vigilant because she didn't know what side she would meet. And it took me a while, and it took people around me a while to realize like that maybe things are changing, that maybe I don't need to be, that they could let their guard down around me a bit.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I love about this program. It's gentle and it's slow. The same as our progression into destruction. You know, it was fast, but we never seen it because it's so the word they use in AA is insidious. It's so fucking sneaky, insidious.
Yeah.
And recovery is very nurturing. It's like we come into recovery like a little child, and the 12-step program for me held me and it nursed me back into life. It breastfed me. And when I was naughty, it never kicked me out. It said, okay, you're a naughty boy, but we still love you. You know, and I was a naughty boy, you know, that I was, I like
I'm
naughty.
sure you were.
I like naughty. You know what I mean? I like naughty a lot. And you know what, mate? The gifts of recovery have taught me how to be a really soft, loving human being. What a gift. What a gift.
And for somebody like you saying that, that's amazing. A hard guy like you that's been around and being able to speak with another man and trusting him and telling your story and asking for help and reaching out and being vulnerable.
It was like you and I when we spent that week together, and I remember driving up to the Holy City, and you took me through the markets, and that blew my mind. And then we walked the path of Christ. And remember, we got the official to open the gate, and he took us right to where Jesus was.
Wow!
Remember that? And he opened the gate and said, "This is where Christ was crucified. This is the spot we're standing on." And we took photos, and I was like, "How?" I think we paid him money. I think we bribed him to get in there. That's okay,
like us,
mate. There's always going to be bribes. You know what I mean? But
it moves life a bit faster. It's a bit smoother that way.
But that experience for me, going to Israel and meeting up with you, and I've traveled the world a lot. It changed something in me. It was really nice. It was a spiritual experience for me, not religious, spiritual. I'm still not a religious person. I'm a very spiritual person. And the spirit to me was that there was so much pain and suffering in that place, but it was such a soft, beautiful place. You know how many guards were there, how many armored people with machine guns, like rocket launchers, everything all surrounding the whole of the holy city. Yet once you walked inside those walls, we went to the Wailing Wall and that.
It was quiet.
It was quiet. It was like there's something happened there. There was something crazy happens there, man. You know, and I'm a Buddhist, and I'm chanting Buddhist chants while we walk through the holy city. I'm saying, "Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum," and I just felt a peace that I'd never felt before. And the gift you gave me was your time, the most valuable gift any man or any woman can give another human being. Don't worry about the Rolexes and the fucking cars and all that bullshit. Your time, we can never make more time. So to me, when someone gives me their time, they've given me a part of their life. And I'll always be eternally grateful. I talk about a lot that I went to meet with a friend of mine who I'd met in the rooms, and I went to his country and we hung out together, and he tried to kill me in the Black Sea, but in the Dead Sea.
I remember, in the Dead Sea, You were definitely standing out in the crowd here with your full body tattoo.
Yeah, all the little Asians running around. I'm there with the full body suit on. It's like, what's this guy doing? Yeah, man. We had a good time, brother. We really did.
An amazing time.
I say to people all the time, when I'm on my deathbed, I won't be thinking about what car I drove, what watch I wore. I'll be thinking about going to the Dead Sea, going to Japan with this other friend of mine in 2000 when I had broken legs, and they had to carry me every week because I'd broken my legs in a crash earlier on. I still wanted to go, and times when I went to meetings in a wheelchair and they had to carry me up the stairs because I couldn't get up the stairs. So I was in a wheelchair and had crutches, because I couldn't go on crutches because I had broken arms and legs. So they had to carry me everywhere. And that's very humbling, but it also so rewarding. So rewarding to know that there was a program somewhere that people reached out and cuddled me and carried me in my times of need. When I really needed to be carried, there was always someone there to carry me, And I found that I remember a conversation you and I had. We went to the bomb shelter, was doing our meetings there and everything else. And you said, "Oh, brother, I'm scared because there's not so many meetings here." I don't know if you remember this conversation. I said, "We'll start."
I remember.
I said, "We'll start more meetings."
Oh, yeah, I remember that. You told me I should start a few.
Yeah, I said, "Will you start some more meetings, brother?" And
that's the spirit. Look, that's what you're doing here. That's exactly what you're doing here. You said there's always somebody reaching out, and here's you sitting in front of me reaching out to people. Here's you taking out of your time and effort and energy to be that person, to be that hand when a new guy like me comes in with his father or all broken at the age of 18 or 19 or 20, and you're the guy standing at the entrance giving this hug, saying like you're in the right place. We don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I don't know what's my problem.
Yeah. And this last few years, because I started a program where I just deal a lot with the young guys, and I deal with their parents, and it's heartbreaking. It's just so. And you got to remember, I've also got a daughter in recovery. So my daughter's 17 years clean now. And
wow.
And I remember when she was using, and I was so powerless because I couldn't help her, and yet I had all this information and all this stuff. So I had to go to my friends and say, "Help my daughter," because she wouldn't listen to me. I'm her father. What would I know?
No, you're the last one she would listen to.
Well, what would I know? I'm her father. I'm the one who smacks her on the bum and gives her $20. I wish it was $20, but anyway, So we have this family and we have this gift, but I also say, you're part of my family. You're part of my recovery family. I remember you were living with Brocky. Remember? Yeah. He's some
I
funny
used to live with
stories.
him for a while.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what he's
Aye,
like?
aye,
He's impossible to live with.
aye.
I love him dearly. He's
Yeah,
in Bali at the
definitely.
moment doing a retreat.
Nice, good for him.
He's really gone into the Aboriginal culture, speaks the language now fully.
Really, I spend a
Yeah.
lot of time there.
He lived in the communities now for the last 3 years, solid.
Oh,
Speaks the
wow,
language
good for him.
fully. I go up and hunt with him. My little boy and I go up and fish with him.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, he's met a nice lady that he's likes, a lot. You know what Brock's like, He's
Yeah, you taught
mate.
him how to box at the time, didn't you?
Yeah, mate. I taught him to box.
He
I
came in
started
a rough
teaching him.
kid, and you taught him how to. Yeah,
I
he
got him
told
when he
me
was
about that.
17 and started teaching him how to box and try to control his temper because he was always a fighter, but a street fighter, So I wanted to teach him discipline because to me, recovery is about discipline and integrity. You've got to have integrity. Integrity is such an important thing to stay clean. See, people talk about sobriety. Now, if you take the chemical out of your body in 5 days, and I'm 20 years clean, say, we've still got the same amount of chemical in our body, none. We've both got zero chemical. But what I have is information and I have application. I've got a lot of information I've learned to use over that 20 years. So time up does matter, but recovery is not about not taking drugs. Recovery is about mental health, learning new tools, I say to people,
principles.
Yeah. And I say to people all the time, you don't have a drinking problem, you have a thinking problem.
Yeah.
And if you don't think you've got a problem, there's your fucking problem. If you don't think you've got a problem, and can you put a chemical in your body and guarantee your behavior? No. Okay. So you've got an allergy to drugs. I don't like using the word addict and alcoholic and all those sort of words. I say I have an affliction. I've got an allergy. You put a chemical in my body, I can no longer guarantee my behavior. If you don't put a chemical in my body, I still think fucked, but I don't have to act out. You have
a chance. You have the freedom to choose. Like as I'm saying, sobriety isn't about getting clean. Getting clean is obviously the basics, but what happens afterwards? How do I learn to live here? How do I learn to stay clean? How do I learn? And like you said, I try and guide my life today just by principles. I didn't know how to live. I really feel like I stopped growing when I started using. I started using when I was 13 or 14. I stopped maturing at that age. And anything I have, I just got in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything good in the first, whatever it is, 15 or 20 years prior to that. I touched something, I ruined it. I went to school, I messed it up. I went to the army, I burnt it. I went to, it was all a mess. So everything I have today is I only got in the last 8 years.
Exactly. I 100% agree. Our emotional growth stops when we start taking chemicals.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm about 37 years old. Right? Like a 13-year-old, but in a few months. I'm 70 in a few months. And I'm 38 years clean in about 7 weeks. But I don't say, I say that because that's by the grace of some higher power. And I still don't know what my higher power is. I do. My higher power is love, understanding, and forgiveness. And it works through this program. That program taught me how to love, understand, and forgive because I'm defected. I have an affliction. I don't think like the normal people did. And when you put a chemical in my body, it's all over. All bets are off. I know that. Agreed. So I have a chemical problem, but I have a thinking issue.
Yeah. So that's the main thing you have to deal with these days.
Yeah. And what you said, I had to learn, I had to grow up and learn how to not react on my ego, not to react on my self-worth. I'm feeling bad, I'll go and have sex. I'm feeling good, I'll go and gamble. I'm feeling good, I'll go and have sex. Like I use sex as a tool. I use gambling as a tool. I used crime as a tool. And all these things were to divert myself from sitting with me. And then I had to find out what was so bad about me. That's why I love the steps. And you know what? I like to write your life story. I tell everybody you got to write your life story. I don't know how people do it, but I make everyone write their life story so that they can put it on paper and we say, okay, look at the cycles where you told yourself you're useless, worthless, and hopeless. But that's not true. You weren't useless, worthless, and hopeless. You were powerless. You weren't even responsible for that situation.
Yeah.
You were powerless. You'd never had the tools. So
Yeah.
if you haven't got a grinder, how the fuck are you going to take the weld off the car?
No.
You need some
No
tools.
chance.
Yeah. What, you're going to rub with a
No
toothbrush?
chance.
You rub it with a toothbrush
Nah.
forever. It's not going to come off. You
Yeah.
get the grinder out, you grind it, it's finished. It's gone. That's what the steps
True.
are. The steps of the grinder, man. Then we get the putty out and fix it up, and we repair it.
Nah.
We kill the rust and we repair it, mate, and then we put it back out, and it's better than what it ever was. They should have built them that way in the beginning, but they didn't.
No, we didn't.
So
I don't know why it takes us so long to ask for help. It's like we fight anything that might be good for us before we come in. Like it's I don't know if it's this need to try and do it by ourselves. I don't want to ask for help. I want to fix this by myself. And it's ridiculous. Instead of just asking someone with a bit more experience, reaching out for help, saying, look, I've only got this toothbrush and I've been shaving this for the last 10 years and nothing is happening. Ask someone.
Yeah.
Ask someone. There's so many people out there. They want to help you for free with love. They know exactly what to do. Just reach out. Just do. Stop trying to do the same thing.
Because we have a fear.
Yeah. I think my fear was I didn't want to surrender to my addiction. I thought if I gave up, I thought if I admitted defeat, I would lose. I would lose on life. I would lose my chance. And there was a side of me that obviously wanted to be clean, and the side of me that wanted to live. And it took me a while and quite a few meetings to realize that I could surrender to recovery. If I admit I'm powerless, if I admit that I don't have the right tools, it doesn't mean I have to use. On the contrary, it means I don't have to use anymore. Yeah. It means I know I've lost and I can start maybe on a new path. And that was the moment of change for me. You spoke about before about when you look back from your deathbed. I remember I was standing many years ago, I was still using at the time, in front of the mirror in the middle of the night. And I had one of these little moments of grace. And I stood in front of the mirror and I just told myself, look, Kilo, if on your deathbed, whenever that may be, when you look back at your life and all your dreams and all you wanted to do, and in reality, all I did is use. I couldn't even take a shower once a week. And there is no second chance. There is no trying again. There is no living life over. I spent my life using drugs. I killed myself, and that's the end of the story. Yeah. Why not take I had a small window of opportunity, and I took a few actions, and I swam as fast as I could to not get sucked back into this turbulence.
Yeah. And now you have the tools, you have the choices.
Exactly.
Because today you're not powerless.
No.
Today your life's
I choose every morning.
Yeah. Today's your life's not unmanageable.
No.
People say to me, I say, yeah, okay, I've been clean a long time, but I still can't take drugs.
No.
Because it'll start all that madness again. But the truth is, I didn't want to. I like being aware. I like being available. I like being present. When my little girl jumps in the pool and says, Daddy, look at me. I want to feel that joy. I want to feel that joy. And sometimes when I have a bad day, big deal. So what? Feelings aren't facts. They're bad moments. If I choose to dwell on it all day, then I've had a bad day. But if I just accept, okay, it's a bad moment. Can I change it? No, I can't. Accept it. Can I change it? Yes, I can. Then fucking change it. Yeah. I'm powerless over it. Yes, I am. Accept it. Is it my issue? Oh, it's not. I'm powerless. It's just so simple. This is such a simple program,
It's simple. It really is simple. And sometimes, like you said, the best thing is just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Bad moment. You can't do anything. Just sit through it. It will pass. Yep. It will pass in an hour. It will pass tomorrow. It will change.
Everything passes.
Once if I don't do anything, everything passes unless I touch and things are unreversible. Staying clean, things change. You want to be you want to be there, you want to be present. That is a gift today, being able to have a little daughter and run up to you and say, Daddy.
Yeah.
I have a baby, she's 1.5. It's a gift for me to be able to be here. And I know that's not me. It's not my natural inclination. My natural inclination is to be alone, is to be antisocial, but there's such a different side of me if I do what I need to do, if I take care of what I need to take care of, if I take care of my recovery, if I take care of my spiritual condition. I'm a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm a good father. I'm a good husband. I'm a good friend. I'm a good son.
Exactly. And what a gift. And what a gift. What a gift. And I don't have to remember what I said last night or what I did last night because I don't lie. I don't tell lies, so I don't have to remember what I said. I have no expectations from anybody. I don't want nothing from anybody. I have people. This is a funny story, but I've been saying this story for a long time. I don't buy lottery tickets. My wife does. My wife does, but I don't because I think I've already won lotto by getting clean. And I think I'm being unfair. I'm being greedy if I bought a lottery ticket. Seriously, because, man, this is the greatest gift. This is the greatest show on earth. Where else can you jump online to a friend? We haven't seen each other for 6 years. It's like we're still sitting in the car talking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Show me where that happens.
No,
There's a
I
bond.
remember the first time it is. I remember when I was 7, 8 months clean and they bought a bus with the guys from rehab. And one of the guys reached out to me after the meeting and asked me if I was willing to sponsor him. And I said yes, and we spoke a few words and he went on the bus. And it was the first time I cried in years. And there were tears, I know now, probably of joy and gratitude.
Yeah.
Like it's something I've never experienced before. I was miserable for years. I used to hate happy people. Being happy was a sign of stupidity. And I was standing there in the car lot in Malulaba, I don't even remember where.
Yeah.
Just this small experience, a guy, I don't even remember his name. But I remember how I felt. I remember this experience for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Crying from happiness, crying from joy to a guy like me. Yes. I don't deserve it. I really don't. I didn't do so many good things in life before that I deserved such a gift.
Something thought you did.
Something thought I did.
Something smarter than you. Something greater than you.
Yeah. And this is why I'm sitting here. Because it would be selfish and stupid out of me to think that I should keep it to myself. Yeah. It's not mine to keep and it's not mine to have. Somebody gave me a gift. I had people drive me to meetings and speak with me. And I felt uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to owe you anything. And they said, don't be funny, just pass it on.
Exactly.
And this is, and I feel good when I do. When I'm too busy with myself about what my wife didn't do for me and why don't I make enough money and why is my father so old and why nothing is ever good enough. Unless I stop for a few hours or a few moments and I do something which isn't just about me. And I get to breathe for a second and I'm not so self-obsessed and self-absorbed and self-worried and like life isn't okay. And I finish a meeting sometimes with a sponsor or a sponsor or writing. And I'm a bit happier. I'm a bit calmer. I'm a bit better off than I was an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll feel better off this afternoon. I'm sure I can sign and I can guarantee that once I finish this conversation, I will feel better.
100%. 100%. So let's go into this area. Family. You're married now. You're all grown up. You're all grown up.
Yes, I am.
You went and found some poor young lady in Israel.
Yes, I absolutely did. And the first date, she's American. Well, the first date when we went out, she said, I want to be your best friend. let's build a relationship. And I looked at her, I said, honey, this is like, I'm not the right guy for this. I have enough friends. Women are not my friends. Like, you've got this all mixed up. But yeah, today she's my best friend. Today my wife is my best friend. She knows everything about me. I share all my secrets, everything I've done, everything I think, and everything I want together with her. And she's the best mother to my kid and the best partner I could ask for, more than I deserve. And she tolerates me in my good moments and my bad moments, and God knows I have my bad moments. And thank God she's the patient and healthy one out of the two of us.
Yeah. I got the same. My wife puts up with me.
And that's not easy sometimes.
It's not easy. I say to her sometimes, you stay with me because you love me. I stay with me because I can't get away. Sometimes I wish I could get away,
Yeah. It's which.
I'm a human being, I'm a man, and then I'm an addict. She loves the human being. She loves the man. She doesn't love the addict.
No, she tolerates him.
She tolerates the addict. She puts up with the addict because she likes the man and the human.
She loves the man and the human. And I'm sure it more than makes up for it.
Exactly.
You're more than enough special human being and a man, and I'm sure to over. Yeah.
She always tells me how good of a husband I am, how good of a father I am. And I've never been with women that tell me how good I am and tell me they appreciate how hard I work. Then my wife says to me, because she's not an addict, my wife, and she says to me, honey, turn your phone off. I say, I can't. She goes, some people ring me at 3 o'clock in the morning, iced off their heads. She goes, honey, that's shit. I say, honey, you don't understand. Please. And she goes, okay, it's your life. That's your business. My wife's never been interested to come to a meeting, which I don't want her to come to a meeting. But she's never been interested. She goes, that's your life. That's none of my business.
She supports you, and she gives you all the back and all the foundation that you need. She knows that you can do whatever. You know that you can do whatever it is you need to, and she's there to back you up, and she's there to take care of your family and grow your kids together with you, and be your teammate.
Yeah, she is. She's my anchor. She's my anchor. She keeps me grounded, man. And my wife, she's not scared. You met her. She's not scared to say to me, "Hey, listen, dickhead. You're out of line, motherfucker. You got your head up your ass."
You need that sometimes. You need somebody. Not many people would speak to you that way. So it's luckily that you have her.
Yeah, she comes and says to me sometimes, like I say to her sometimes, have you got a mirror? Go and look in the fucking mirror with your short ass. But she's emotionally my rock.
You've been married for years with a beautiful family, and that says a lot.
Yeah, 12 years, man. 12 years. And there's not one day I regret it. Not one day I wish I was with a different woman. There's not one day that I'm not, mate, when she's asleep, I look at her. I lay there and look at her while she's asleep. I touch her skin, I feel like some old creep. Touch her skin, I touch her hair. Mate, I'm obsessed with her. I just think I must have done something really good to be given such a gift. And I believe it's a direct result of what I do, helping people.
Absolutely.
Everything I own, the car I went and bought today, a direct result of me helping people. I started, since I've been home the last 12 years, every company I've owned has turned into fucking monsters. The car business just went out of control. My jewelry company still always works every day. I started a drug rehabilitation center over online. I do it and I don't work hard because I do what I love doing.
Yeah.
Everything I do is about helping people. Everything I do is about helping people.
Do it out of the right place.
Yeah.
You do it from the right place. You're not doing it for the money. You're not doing it to try and hurt people. You're doing it. Your main reason for doing stuff today is, like you said, service, and you want to reach out, and it works.
You have to be of service, mate.
The heart is in the right place. Yeah.
Bob Dylan, I'm old. Bob Dylan made a song and said, you have to serve somebody, whether it be the devil or whether it be the Lord. You have to serve somebody.
Oof.
Well, I served the devil for fucking years.
Yeah.
And I was a good disciple.
I still work hard today. I still work hard. I just choose to work, be a disciple of the right things.
Exactly.
I work hard. I have to work. But I'd rather work for recovery. I'd rather work with people. I'd rather work on spirituality than chasing little bags for 50 shekels in the train, in the like central station, and feeling like just no good.
Yeah.
This is the hand I've been dealt, and there's like no avoiding it. I have to work. I have to do something. I can choose a side today. I can either choose to go back to where I was, and God knows how it would end. And this morning I chose to work. I chose to wake up and do what it is I need to, because this is my responsibility. Before I need to bring money home, and before I need to be a good father. I remember I also came to you and I said, look, I had some trouble at the time with some money, and I must have switched 20 jobs in the first 7 months. And I said, look, do you like have a job or something? I was trying to, I don't know what I even wanted from you, but I hoped you were like, and you said, just take care of the program and the steps. And I'm like, you probably didn't listen. I'm telling you, I have money problems. You said, leave that, just focus on the steps. And I did. And the more program I did, somehow the better the rest of my life became.
Yeah.
I never focused on the rest of my life. I never tried to fix the problems head on. I had to fix like me or the core or whatever it is to bring it back to me. And once I fixed me, my wife became better, my business became better, my life became better. It's all rubbish. If I'm good, life is just like easy.
Yeah.
Life easy. Life falls into place instead of me trying to shove something in the wrong place.
Yeah. Take care of your recovery. Your recovery take care of everything else. I know my grand sponsor, he died. He was 64 years sober. And he was an old guy, 80 something years old. And he used to say to me all the time, the secret to recovery is acceptance. And the more I work on my recovery, the better my wife behaves. It had nothing to do with his wife. The better he behaved, you know what I mean? He was less of an arsehole to live with. And he died at 64 years sober. And he was a gentleman. He was a gentleman. He was a lovely, lovely human being, you know? And he gave so much. And he died, not that it's important, but material things do matter. If people say they don't, well, that's good luck to them, but to me they do. I never got clean to sleep in the park. My children are not going to wear dirty clothes, you know? And he lived in a beautiful penthouse overlooking the ocean down at Malulabar. And his highlight was watching the whales every year. You know, he had a penthouse apartment watching the whales when he was 80 years of age. That's what he used to like doing. He said to me, oh, it's whale season soon, mate, you know.
Sitting and waiting.
Yeah, I'll see that white one. That was his highlight, apart from going to jails and institutions and visiting people still at 80 years of age. Going and doing H&I meetings. You know, everything he did, he gave. You know, he gave so much, you know. But I know from my experience that the more I give, the more I get. That's not the motivation why I do it. That's just the reward that I get for doing it. The peace of mind that I have is no money can buy. No money can buy it. People say they laugh because, you know, I have all these beautiful motor cars and that, you know what I'm like, I'm obsessed with cars and I have these incredible cars. And I drive a Toyota Hilux to meetings, you know, and they say to me, how can you drive that old Hilux? I said, it gets me to meetings. You know, the newcomer doesn't need to see me pull up in a brand new flash car. And sometimes I take it to a convention or something, but it's not that I don't take it, it's just I don't need to take it. It's not for anyone else, it's for me. Yeah.
It is for you, but what attracts people? I remember I chose my first sponsor because he used to laugh a lot, and he was happy. Peace of mind is my most precious asset today. I know that if it's the first thing I want to take care of. If I know that I'm off, that's the first thing I have to fix. If something is disturbing me, if something is keeping me uneasy or unquiet, that's the first thing I deal with. I want to get back to the center. I know once you get a taste of the good life, once you get a taste of serenity, once you get a taste of just a bit of calm, I don't want to lose it anymore. And I'm not going to lose it. I will do anything it is I have to stay in this state.
Yeah, 100%. I'm as desperate to stay clean as I was to get stoned.
Yeah.
And I went to any lengths to get stoned. You know what I mean? And I have the same desperation. As we've talked about before, I'm still the same guy. I just choose to work on the good side now, on the positives, not the negatives. And my goals are to be a good human being, not a human taking. Because when I was using, I was a human taking. Today, I'm a human being. I give, I laugh, I love. My brain's still fried, but I don't listen to it. You know, I know the lie of the thief and the cheat lives here. I know he lives there, but the good guy also lives up there too. And the more I feed the good guy, the lie of the thief, the cheat loses power. Simple.
Absolutely.
Simple.
Absolutely.
Simple. It's that simple. What you feed your brain will believe. When you tell yourself you're worthless, useless, and hopeless, that's what you're going to act like. When you tell yourself that you're worthy, you deserve it, you're obligated to give it, and I still say today, in giving we receive, everything I have today is a direct result of helping other people. Everything I have today, everything. There's nothing that I own that doesn't come from my program. My program is based on 8 principles, the 8 demands. I think you've heard me talk about them before. The openness, acceptance, reliability, congruence, thoroughness, consistency, respect, and honesty. Those 8 demands are my world. They're my whole world. That whole new program I wrote, the whole drug program I wrote, is based on those 8 demands. I should get V to email you those. I'll get V to email you that.
Yeah.
Then just get it done in laminate, and I put it on my office on the wall. Everyone owns it. Everyone's got them. Rocky, everyone I sponsor, everyone I really do podcasts with has got these 8 demands on their offices now. And
I would love to have it.
yeah, I'll get V to send you a set. I'll get her to send you an email. You just get it printed out and then just put it on laminate, mate, and just put it somewhere where you get up and you look at it and you go like, yeah, that's it. I've got to work on openness and have an open mind. Acceptance, accept things you can't change, accept that other people see you better than you see yourself. Being reliable. The first 4 of the first elements of trust. If you're open, accepting, reliability, and congruent, people will trust you. You know, how many times if someone says, I'm going to meet you at 9 o'clock, and they don't turn up till 10 past, 20 past, half past. First time, okay, you're late. Second time, you're a fucking rude person. Third time, ain't going to be a third time.
There is no third time.
Yeah.
Your word, my word today is my bond. If I told you that I'll be somewhere unless something terrible happens, I'll be there.
And then if you're running late, you have a breakdown, mate. I'm sorry, I'm running late. I can't make it today.
I'll be 10 minutes late. Yeah.
I'm sorry, mate. I can't make it today. Common courtesy, costs nothing. That's the good thing about what we do. We teach ourselves a lot of respect, and we start to honor our word. Now, word becomes our bond, and the biggest word we keep is, just for the day, I'm not going to put a chemical in my body and fuck my life up.
Amen.
And if I don't put that chemical in my body, I'm a chance of having a good life. And if I put the chemical in my body, all bets are off. I'd start erasing everything good in my life. So what are these things you've got written down? What are these questions you've got written down, my friend? Or are these topics you've got written down?
Nah, not questions. It's just like thoughts of mine. But I think we've covered most of them.
Have we?
I think we have.
Yeah.
I think we have. I got a life through NA.
Yeah.
I grew up here. I went back to school. I finished school. I found a family. I found a business. I'm consistently clean for the last 8 years or so. It's a gift. For me, this really is. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens next. I thought when I was 1 year clean, what a big changes happened from in the last 12 months. And I saw that once I got 2 years clean, it got twice as good. In 3 years, like the years just keep improving. And every time I don't think it can get any better, I keep getting gifts, and I keep getting more surprised when I look a year back. How much has my life changed? I'm excited about the future today for a change, you know.
Beautiful.
As a guy that sat in his room alone for months and months in a dark room, I'm excited about whatever may happen. I don't know how long I'll be here. I don't know what my plans are. I don't know what life will bring my way. But I want to be here to find out.
Yeah.
I want to be here for my family. I want to take a part, like be part of the journey of life. I want to be able to write my story.
See
And when I
behind
get
me?
to my deathbed, born into
The
a
Lie of Crime.
Yeah.
That's my book. I published it this year.
I have to find it. Where is it? Where can I find it?
On the Truth About Addiction website.
Okay.
Ron
Look
at
it
the
up.
Truth About Addiction, go on the website and you can find it there. And I'll write on it for you to Ori, my friend.
Nice.
Because
I would love that.
I'll send one for you and one for Dad.
Oh, he would love that too. He would read it. How long did it take you to write?
I wrote it when I was away, when I was in holidays at the Buddhist camp for 8 years.
At this,
When I was in prison. When I was back in prison for 8 years, I wrote it then. But I finished it in 2007. And I never published it till this year.
Why not? Why not?
Fear. And I had to wait for some people to die. You know, that book finishes in 2002 when I got arrested. Because remember, I went back to prison in 2003 for 8 years. So that book, there's a second book being written now. I'm writing the second book now, which is a good book, all about helping people and having the rehab in prison and all that stuff where I met Brocky and all that.
Yeah.
So that to me is that's the good book. But you had to make this book first so people knew who I was. Otherwise, they read the second book, they go like, oh, what's this guy? He's just a do-gooder? This guy's a fucking psychopath who was in jail for shooting people at 16 and he lived this life of crime and then he helps people and he loves people and he's a good father and a good husband. So, yeah, it's a good book, mate. It's a good book. It's a very, very hard book because there's a lot of stuff, personal stuff. My family, you know, my father being a gangster and a bad man and the abuse in the family, you know, physical abuse, sexual abuse to my sisters. But, mate, if you're going to write something, you've got to tell the truth.
Yeah.
If you're going to write your autobiography, you've got to fucking tell the truth. Otherwise, don't write it. I can't stand people who gangster on, and then when it comes time to do gangster shit, they run away.
Yeah, not for me. Not this time. I'll sit this one out, maybe.
Yeah, you know.
Take this one. I'll take the next one.
Yeah, I'll take the next one, brother. And when you're in jail, they're out trying to screw your girlfriend and see if you've got any money hidden somewhere. No, that lie. That's why I called it the lie of crime. Because it's not a life, it's a lie. Yeah. So it's a little play on words, born into the lie of crime. Because it's got an F in the middle, but you can't see because it's red, the F.
I see the F. I see it. It's faded in.
Yeah, so it's faded in the red. Because when you look at it, it's got born into the lie. Oh, the life of crime. This is the lie of crime. That's a photo of me as a little boy. That's a prison photo.
Of you?
Yeah, 17.
Get out.
Yeah. The photo of me at 17. Fuck up, eh?
How long did you sit in jail when you were 17?
All up, I did 7 years before when I was an addict. Then I did 8 years when I wasn't an addict, when I was not a using addict. So I did 15 years altogether. So when I went to jail as a young boy, there was no junkies. When I went to jail as an old man, they were all junkies except for me. So, you know, I mean,
you opened the rehab there, didn't you?
Yeah, I opened the rehab in prison, unheard of. I'm a prisoner doing a rehab in prison. Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm going to do a whole story about that again one day too, because that's just fucking bullshit.
That's a story worth telling.
Yeah, you know, a guy sentenced to 18 years in prison goes to prison and gets a whole unit and gets a drug-free unit and starts NA meetings, bringing people from outside, teaching yoga, fucking getting our food, cooking our own food. So I started to teach them about health, mental health, fitness, and about the program, man. And a lot of Brocky's part of that. He's one of the guys that got clean because of it. Nodge, there's a whole bunch of guys that are clean. Scotty, all these guys are directly clean because of that. So it's so beautiful, so blessed.
It
If you
was
get
an amazing.
lemons, make lemonade. Don't whinge, you know. I've never whined, but you know that I don't whine. I'm not a victim. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Simple.
Yeah.
But also,
fair.
when you get the rewards, count your blessings. And I do that every single day, mate. And we're going to finish up now, mate. Look, this has been an absolute pleasure. I love you dearly
Thank
from the
you.
bottom of my
Me too.
heart. And I say that sincerely. I miss you.
Feeling is mutual.
And
Me
I
too.
hope that maybe you guys can come to visit us one day, or we'll come to visit you.
I would love that. Yeah, we'll do one of the two.
Yeah, we will. I'll bring my kids over. You bring the wife and kids over. If you just come here, you've got
Yeah.
somewhere to stay. You know, this
My
house
man, thank
it's
you.
got plenty of room. You know that. It only costs you
I know,
airfares. That's all it costs you.
Yeah,
Say
I'll
hello
do
to
it.
say hello to the family. Say hello to Dad.
I will. I will. Thank you
Thank you, my
for
friend.
inviting me again.
From the Truth About
Bye, Ronnie.
Addiction. Thank you, mate.
I solemnly swear that I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.